Hello, this is day 19 of Aglow 30. For the past 18 days, we've been doing awesome teachings on the subject of devotion. Do well to check them out if you've not listened to them already, all right? And let it just be a blessing to you. This is day 19, and I'm going to be continuing from where I stopped yesterday. Yesterday, I spoke about how you can build up an environment and you can set structures in place. You can put yourself in a situation where it's almost impossible for your devotion life to not be successful. All right. And I gave examples of different techniques you can use. And I also talk about something I believe is very, very important when it comes to the subject of devotion, especially fervor and remaining on fire. It's about the subject of a community. You see, I heard a man of God say something back and it stood out to me. He said, your spiritual life is only as strong as your friend circle. Your spiritual life is only as strong as your friend circle. You see, um, and whenever I share this story with people, there's a story that comes to mind, or whenever I try to talk with people about this, there's a story that comes to mind. Many years ago, I think that was 2023 December to be precise, December 27th 28th thereabout. I think it was 27th, right? Or probably 28th. And December 28th is 3 days after Christmas, all right? So there's Christmas rice, there's Christmas chicken, and all those things. But another thing December 28th is that it is YMR period, right? So this year I didn't go for YMR. I was at home and so I was eating like no man's business. I was just eating all the food that was at home. And I don't know the spirit that moved me that night around 10 p.m. I wanted to eat again. I didn't eat evening food before. I wanted to eat again. And I wanted to and sorry, just so I don't forget, YMR for those that don't know, it's called Young Ministers Retreat. It's a popular youth gathering. It's a well-known youth gathering in Nigeria that is held at the Redemption Camp, all right, at every end of the year. It's like a retreat for young people seeking spiritual favor and all that. And so back to my story. This day I was going to eat by 10 p.m., right? Rice and chicken. And I was sitting there in front of the television. I don't know what moved me. What moved me to on the TV? I should have just eaten my food and gone, right? I don't know what moved me to on the TV. I on the TV. I don't know what moved me to go to Dove TV. And then I went there. And then it was Weimar. And it just so happened by the providence of God that that particular year, all a lot of people I knew were sitting at the front, so I could see them in camera sight. And so I was about to start eating, and then I was watching YMR. And the next thing I ate, P. Daniel, the program is a retreat organized by P. Daniel Lawande. And for people that know P. Daniel very well, P. Daniel has this kind of prayer points that are quite really, really dramatic, dramatically intense, all right. And so Peter then, this kind of prayer points like, Lord, activate my destiny by fire. Hey God, everybody now started praying. And I could see my mates, like people that I actually knew, I saw them praying, different kind of prayer postures. Oh my God. And I was about to eat. Like, I don't know, it was just very, very subconscious. I just dropped the food and then I left it, covered it, and I started praying like that. You see, as funny as that story is, very funny because at the end of the day, I don't know who sent me to it. I was there till like 2 a.m. that morning. I had to go and eat after. But as funny as it might sound, you see, human beings are more impressionable than we think. We are more impressionable than we think. There is there is the herd mentality in everybody where you just don't want to miss out. And you see, many of us have been taught this thing as okay, don't give on to peer pressure. But not all peer pressure is bad. Sometimes peer pressure is needed for you to fulfill what you are actually supposed to do. The only thing is the type of peers you surround yourself with. And so not all peer pressure is bad. Sometimes peer pressure will pressure you onto righteousness. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so in devotional fervor, I have come to find out that when you surround yourself with people that can spur you to good works, then your devotion life is already like a lot ahead. One of the things it will do to you is, like I said earlier, spur you to good works. You know that feeling of, oh, your friend comes to tell you, I prayed for this number of hours, and you're like, hey, what am I doing in my life? Sometimes it can get unhealthy, all right? But sometimes that what am I doing in my life, that pressure is needed, is needed. Paul says we should spur one another onto good works. Your friends can spur you onto good works. They can trigger you. They can awaken hunger in you. All right. That thing that doesn't want to make you feel left behind, that FOMO, that fear of missing out, that doesn't want to make you feel left behind, sometimes can be applied to your spiritual life and your devotion and can put you on the fire. When you find our friends that every time they are reading Bible, they are sharing scripture, it will trigger you. These are the things that kickstarted my devotion life and drove my hunger in spirituality. I had friends that were not joking, that were not playing at all. They were people that were very, very intentional and committed to their devotion. All right. And I think this will go a long way. The second thing that community will help you with as it pertains to devotion is accountability. And when I talk about community, I want us to know that I'm not just talking about friends, I'm talking about family and even spiritual family at its utmost, which is the church of God, right? The church of God also really counts a lot when it comes to your devotion. It matters a lot. You must have a church, you must be going to a church that constantly puts in you a desire for more, a desire to pray, all right? Not a church that just makes you very comfortable wherever you are, all right? But the second thing it does is accountability, all right? And one of the ways to maximize self-control is to put yourself in a system where you don't need it at all. And so when you find yourself in a structure where people can constantly check on you, tell you, oh, have you prayed today? Oh, did you fast today? What part of the Bible did you read today? All those kind of things. It might look stressful and burdensome, but you know where your prayer life is at now. You need it. You actually don't need it. People that will constantly check on you, call on you, that will make self-control not as needed as you might want to put it, because that's actually how to maximize self-control, as it were, all right? Keeping yourself a system of accountability. People that will know when you're actually backsliding. I have friends like that, and I do that for people too. People that when you like a post on Instagram, they will enter your DM and tell you what blessed you in this post that you just like. What you tell me what blessed you in in the rear end of the opposite gender that you are liking, all right? And people that can just keep you in check, all right? And the third thing I think is important, apart from spurring to good works and accountability, is that you see, one of the ways to burn is just to stay around fire. When we're having silent night in church, that old candlestick night, one of the things that happen is that sometimes the candle goes out, and one of the ways to set the candle on fire is just to bring it in proximity with another fire. One thing the Bible tells us, according to the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, is that when we come to the church, every joint supplies, and so life can be supplied to your prayer life. Everybody is a supplying joint when we gather to pray. What the essence of what I'm saying is that your corporate prayers can be the fuel for private prayers. It might not be sustainable, but at least at the beginning, when you are trying to gain back your spiritual form, when you are trying to get back on fire for God, your corporate prayers, don't joke with corporate prayers. Don't even joke with it at all. It can be what would fuel power your personal devotion or your personal time with God, all right? Because one of the ways that fire can be caught is by staying around fire. See, there's very huge limit to what your prayer life will be like if all the people around you are fire extinguishers, people that all that they talk about is the next movie and very, very ephemeral things like that. Be around people that set you on fire. Be around people that drive you on to good works. Choose a community very well that will make you hunger for man, hunger for prayer. If it helps, I want to just put a trending statement there. In your 20s, you will find a group of friends that will be on fire for God and will set you on fire. It's very important that you stick with that close group of friends. This is day 19 of Aglow 30, and if this blessed you, do well to share it. I hope this reaches the right audience. Share it with as many people as possible. This might be the hope for someone's devotion life that is currently dragging. All right, share it with as many people. Let this be a blessing. Like this video, subscribe. Any part of it that stood out to you, please share it on your social media handles, and let it be a blessing to someone. This is day 19. This is Aglow 30. God bless you. Have a lovely day.